Hey everyone, good morning and good evening. Quick check, guys. Can you hear me? Is my voice audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Good morning.
Perfect, guys. Thank you. And is my screen visible to you all?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So myself, Rohit Kumar Singh, I'll be the instructor for you. This is basically an advanced Azure DevSecOps course. So today we are not going, no, we will just discuss what exactly this course is all about, and we'll talk about what are the topics we are covering in this course and what will be the duration of this course. It's a pretty big course, guys. Though we have named it Azure DevSecOps, but there are various tools what we are covering from the DevOps perspective. Just an FYI, this is the 12th batch. Okay, this is ADP 1-2. So that's the 12th batch what we are having right now. We are already done with 11 batch of Azure DevSecOps course. And the course has grown. Like if you would have joined my first or second batch from there till here, earlier when we started it was 30 days course. Now this is 3 months course, so that big course it is. Okay, so I'll give you quick introduction about myself. You need to know more about who exactly I am, what will be the course highlights, what are the focal points, your focus area, and the course journey, and at the end we'll talk about the course content. So about me, I have 12 plus of years experience, mostly into DevOps. Okay, I'm currently I have worked with many companies. I have worked with startups. I have worked with multinationals, and currently I'm working with one of the multinational company, and I am located in US now. So my time zone differs. I am in CST time zone. So there might be difference. Like when you're reaching out to me for any questions or queries, I might have delay in response because it's night right now. It's around 9 p.m. right now at my place. Okay, I am working as a DevOps lead right now in my current project. I am handling more than 5, 6 projects, so I have pretty much good experience what happens in DevOps. I have trained student offline, online. I do have my YouTube channel and I have completed various certification. Just to name few, which is relevant to this course, I am a DevOps Master certified. I am AZ 400 certified. I am RSCE, Red Hat Certified Engineer, Red Hat Certified System Admin. So there are many more. There are ITIL and many more. I have not added those in the PPT, but these are my certification. Okay. So this is, I have 12 plus, but now it is 13 plus. I have not updated this PPT. So this is all about me, guys. About this course. Now this course is basically designed. Now this is not a typical AZ 400 course, guys, wherein we are targeting that you will complete the AZ 400 certification. No, that's not my target. The target for this course is if you are in DevOps background, you will learn more. You will grow yourself as a senior DevOps engineer or a solution architect. That is what my target is. If you're not from a DevOps background and if you want to switch to a DevOps background, that is what the focus area for this course is. If you're willing to give interview and if you want to get into DevOps, that is this course is designed. The course is designed in such a way that it will give you 360 view of DevOps, starting with containerization, orchestration, infra as a code, pipeline as a code, cloud computation, all those. So it's not only Azure DevOps. Now I'll show you the course curriculum, then you'll understand what are the different topics we are covering. So it is not only Azure DevOps. There are various other tools. In DevOps, it's a very big domain. Like if you, anyone if you are from DevOps background, you know how big it is. One or other tool is coming up each day. Okay, so how do we tackle that situation? How do we portray ourselves as a DevOps engineer? Put 3, 4, 5 years of experience based on what experience you have right now in the resume and those things. So that is what the target is. That you get into some kind of DevOps role after this course. That is what my target is. So it's a 65 days long course. It's a pretty big course, guys. Okay, we are starting in October end. So I think it goes till Jan. Like if we start from Monday, this is just a demo today. If we start from not Monday, Tuesday, then it will go till Jan end of Feb mid. That big course is. Okay. I don't cover theory much. It doesn't mean I don't have theory sessions. I do have theory, but the focus area is practical. The reason we focus more on practical stuff is because when you give interview nowadays, they don't ask straightforward question like what is DevOps, what do you mean by DevSecOps, what are the different tools. They will ask you question related to whether you have worked in that particular tool or not. Do you have working experience? So all scenario based questions nowadays they are asking. Like for example, if I want to talk about scenario based question, let me give you a question on Git. Very simple question. Like imagine there are two branch, like one is develop branch and one is release branch. And out of develop branch, there are a couple of commits, specific commits I need to pick and put it in release branch. How do we do it? It's a very straightforward question, guys. Okay. It just I have put things into a scenario. Now you need to think like what could be the answer. So such questions you can only answer when you have done it. Like you if you have practically worked on Git, easily you can say this is related to cherry picking. So that is what we are trying to achieve over here. We are trying to get into practical mode. Like when you go into interview, any sort of interview, you know the complete flow. If I am asking like, okay, I have a .NET application, please walk me through building and deploying this .NET application on Azure Kubernetes service. Now, if you have done that end-to-end project, how do we set the branching and merging strategy? How do we create the build pipeline? What are the build tool? What is package manager? What is NuGet will be used for? What is MS build? What is VS build? How this .NET package will be tested? What are the security measures we can add to the pipeline? How what are artifacts? What if the artifact is created? How we can get this application deployed on a VM? Like if it's a cluster, then what is manifest file? What is deployment.yaml file? So all this flow, this complete end-to-end flow, you can answer only when you have practical experience. So keeping that in mind, the course has 85 plus percent practical. We do day one, we start from practical, guys. Initially, just to explain you what is DevOps, what is DevSecOps, what are the different SDLC life cycles we use, what is Scrum, what is Agile, and you might see some sort of theory in the first week of the course. But day one, we start with practical stuff. We start with Git, understanding Git. Then we jump on to the first project. Then we jump on to the second project, Java microservice we have. So there are multiple projects we have in this course. And then that is how we cover all the tools. So when we do the project at the same time, I cover different set of tools such as Git, Docker, Kubernetes, and those things. Okay. I do have weekly assignments. So in a week, I do have only one course, one topics mostly I cover. It's a 3 days session, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for India folks. Anyone who is not in India, like in US or somewhere, then for them it is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so it's Saturday for you guys, and it's still Friday for me. Okay, so that's why it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for me. For you folks, it is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, we have only 1 hour session. Okay, starting at 7. I may go till 8:30, guys. Okay, depending if we are doing some practical thing. I don't want to have things stuck in between, so we go till 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Each and every session gets recorded. Even this demo is getting recorded right now. So I know everyone is a working professional. If you're not able to join, we do have recordings which you can go back as per your leisure time. You can go and watch the recording and come back again tomorrow and ask me questions. We do conduct mock interviews. I do have separate sessions of mock interviews at the end of the course, but while I'm teaching, I keep on giving questions at that point of time that this is what they will ask, this scenario they will ask. So we are preparing for interview from day one. As my target, as I said to you, target is to get you all into DevOps and get if you're looking for a switch into DevOps, this is the course for you all. You can also, there are questions like, can we give AZ 400 after this course? I cover everything in Azure DevOps. End to end, the complete Azure DevOps tools gets covered. So if I talk about in percentage, 40% we talk about Azure DevOps, and the rest 60% is other tools, okay, which is related to DevOps. Okay, so if you targeting to compete in AZ 400 exam, that's a Microsoft certification for DevOps expert. If you are targeting that, you can give it. The only thing you need to do is it's more of a practical and theoretical certification. So you need to go through the white paper of Microsoft. I'll guide you which white paper, and then you need to opt for exam, because you will have complete practical understanding. But in order to understand the jargons what they use in the exam, I'll give you the white paper which you can go through, and the practical exams on Microsoft website itself which you can go through, and then you can opt for AZ 400 if you want. Okay, we do have resume preparation. So based on whatever course we topics I cover, I do have resume created based on. So we have multiple projects in this course. We have .NET project, we have Java Maven project, we have Spring Boot project, we have a database automation project. So all those projects, what we do, I do have a resume created. You can use that resume, and we can have our own resume created. If you want any suggestion, any guidance, feel free to reach out to me. We can also have one-to-one interaction if there's something you want to ask me personally. We do have WhatsApp group which will be created after this. Okay, once you offer, we will have a WhatsApp group which will remain for lifetime. So even I have a group of ADP01, the first batch, it's still there. So we are not deleting any groups or anything as such. Any given point of time, if you want to reach out to me, I will be part of that group. You can reach out to me, you can ping me. As I said, there is a time difference. My time zone is different. Your time zone might be different. I might not immediately reply, but be rest assured, if you ping me, I'll be reverting back to you. The course is starting from today. It's a demo today, so there's no. So this the course will start from 25th of October. Timing is 7 a.m. to 8:15 IST. Don't go with 8:15, guys. I take my session till 8:30. So prepare yourself till 8:30 because it's only 3 days course. The reason I'm keeping it 3 days because we have a lot of practical topics in this course. I want you guys to go and practice after that. The 4 days what you get, okay, because everyone over here, I believe everyone is a working professional. You have some or other task to do at home. I totally agree. If you want to go with this course, make sure to practice at least for 145 minutes to 1 hour daily, because there are so many topics we cover, so many projects we do. If you don't practice it, you will after 2 weeks down the line, you will not even remember what we have spoken 2 weeks back. So practice will make you perfect. Earlier I was till ADP 9 batch, we used to have 5 days session. Then in that case, it was very difficult for students to go back and practice and come back, so it was becoming very difficult for them. Then we started with 4 days session. Then we came up with this plan of 3 days session. Just 3 days, 1 hour 30-minute session, guys. After that, you need to go back, practice, and come back with questions. That is what the target is all about. That is what we are looking for. Practice. Okay. Practice will make you perfect. After 3 months down the line, when you will practice 100%, whatever projects we do, if you do it twice, thrice, then easily out of five, I can guarantee you can crack one interview. Okay. Now, that's the course highlight. Now, before I talk about the focal point about this course, what are the various domains we are touching base on? So DevOps, as we all know, it's a hot plate right now in the market. Like if you go with the DevOps experience, everywhere, each project, they need a DevOps engineer now. So it's a hot plate. It's a very demanding subject right now. It's not just Azure DevOps. No, and again, though the course says Azure DevOps, we are not targeting only Azure DevOps role in future after this course. You can opt for any role. You will be targeting yourself as a DevOps engineer, as a SRE engineer, senior DevOps engineer. And if you have good experience and if you have good exposure in DevOps already, you can also portray yourself as a solution architect, because end to end will do everything. So what are the different things we will cover in this course is, firstly, the DevOps. We'll talk about Operating system. So being a DevOps engineer, you need to know how to run through Linux commands, Unix based command, because all the tools, most of the tools in DevOps are Unix based. Okay. So we are not learning Linux for sure. But yeah, if you are not familiar with Linux, if you have not seen that black screen for earlier, then I will go through some basic Linux commands so that you should know how to create, work with folders, how to create directory, how to edit a file in Linux and those things. So such those things I'll cover. That will help you to set up a DevOps related tool on Linux machine. Okay. In cloud service, we'll talk about Azure cloud. Okay. Now, again, Azure Cloud, we are focusing on the tools, the services where my application will be deployed, such as Azure Kubernetes Service, Azure Container Registry, Azure Key Vault, Azure Storage Account, Azure Virtual Machines. So these are the services we will target. The reason we are talking about cloud is because whatever application we'll create, whatever application will build, whatever application will deploy, that will get deployed on Azure Cloud. So that is the reason we'll go back on Azure Cloud. And if you're not familiar, don't worry, I'll show you how exactly the resource will be created. But if you have some exposure of cloud, that is well and good. Very importantly, we'll talk about repository management. Okay. Repository management will focus on Git. Git is the tool which we will focus on. There will be questions. We are not developer. Why do we need to learn Git? No. If that is the question which you have, it's a being a DevOps engineer, your day in, day out job will be on Git. You will be working with Git, you will be setting up branching emerging strategy, you will be setting up PR policies, you will be guiding the developer with what are the different branches and which branch they should push the code. Those things will be done by DevOps engineer. The DevOps engineer is the backbone. Like in this complete SDLC, software development lifecycle, DevOps engineer are the backbone from the start to the end. So we need to be very thorough with Git, guys. Okay. Programming, if there is any question that do we need to do programming, do we need to learn Python, do we need to learn other thing? See, being a DevOps engineer, initially you don't need to learn any programming language, but as you grow into DevOps, as you grow yourself into DevOps, you have good amount of experience, then you can learn scripting language. Okay, not hardcore programming, you can learn scripting language. Like mostly we work with Windows machine, Linux machine. Okay, so accordingly you can target shell scripting and PowerShell scripting. Okay, we also have a topic in IAC and PAC. So do we do scripting, we do any sort of coding in this course? I would not say no. Yes, we do. What kind of scripting we do we write? We write YAML scripts. Okay, all this Kubernetes manifest files and everything is written in YAML, guys. All this build pipeline, release pipelines are written in YAML. We will be so we will be doing some sort of coding, but that will be YAML based coding. And if you're not familiar with YAML, don't worry. I start things from very scratch. As I said, my target audience is the person who has no knowledge of DevOps and the person who has knowledge of DevOps. That is my target audience. So whatever topics I start, we start from very scratch, and then we build up to the advanced. That is what my forte is. Okay, that is how we do. So we go with YAML basic. What is YAML? What is deserialization language? What are the basic syntax of YAML? Then we go write build pipelines and things in YAML. That is how we do. Then we have containerization, very important. We do cover Dockers. We do talk about what is Docker, what is containerization, how do we write a Docker file, how do we create a Docker image, how do we have a application deployed into Docker. That is something we talk. Then we do have orchestration tool. We talk about Kubernetes in this, how to work with Kubernetes, and we also talk about bare metal Kubernetes, wherein we will go and set up Kubernetes from scratch. Okay, understanding the various components of Kubernetes. Okay, then we'll go and set up is AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service. Then we'll see how do we work on cloud-based Kubernetes. So both the things we'll see how to work with bare metal Kubernetes, wherein we'll set up Kubernetes from scratch, and then we'll go on to the cloud and we'll see how to work with cloud-based Kubernetes. Because once you're thorough with bare metal Kubernetes, it will be a cakewalk for you for on cloud. Like whether you're working with AKS, whether you're working with EKS, your Amazon Kubernetes service, whether you're working with GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine, everything will be cakewalk once you are familiar with bare metal Kubernetes. Then we have monitoring tool. Like there are multiple, there are around 4 to 5 monitoring tool we will cover. Microservice monitoring we cover. Like we'll be setting up Prometheus, we'll be setting up Grafana, we'll be setting up Kiali, we will be setting up metric server. All these are the monitoring tools which we will set up, and we'll see how exactly this microservice monitoring works. Last but not the least, we have configuration management as well. In this configuration management, we are covering a tool called Ansible, in which we'll see how to work with Ansible, how do we write Ansible playbooks. Again, for writing playbooks, you will need YAML. So that is the reason we are focusing on YAML scripts, and we will be writing YAML for multiple purpose. Like I'll be writing YAML for build pipeline, I'll be writing YAML for release pipeline, I'll be writing YAML for Kubernetes, we'll be writing YAML for configuration management. So it will be used at a stretch. There is one more tool I forgot to mention over here. In ISC, Infra as a Code will be covering Terraform. Okay. And that time we will have HashiCorp language. So whatever language and coding I'm talking about is very straightforward. How to use it, how to reference it, I'll show you those. Okay. So in DevOps, as I said, Azure DevOps we are covering. Now this is overall DevOps, guys. Okay. Now DevOps without security is of no use. Like if you would have taken this course 2 years, 3 years back, I would have only taught you DevOps. Now those days are gone that you're just talking about DevOps and not you're not talking about the security measure. So that is where we have added this extra layer where we are talking about security at each phase of your SDLC. When the developer is coding the application, from there how exactly we can restrict developer. Okay, how we can have all the necessary security added to the build pipeline. How do we run the unit test cases? How do we run the code coverage? How do we have security analysis testing done? How do we integrate SonarQube? All those topics are security related topics what we cover along with. So basically in each phase of your SDLC, how do we have security measures added? Okay, that is something we talk about. So this is all from the experience, from the setup I have done in my live projects, in my current company and my future past project. All this course is basically designed based on my experience in my current and my past companies, guys. Okay, because just teaching Azure DevOps will not get you a job for sure. You need to learn all the other tools, and you don't need to deep dive. It's a very misconception everyone has, like I need to be a Kubernetes admin to understand Kubernetes. No, a DevOps engineer, what is your role you're targeting? You're targeting a DevOps engineer role, or are you targeting Kubernetes admin role? What is your purpose of learning? So from the DevOps perspective, what all topics needs to be covered which will get you started in projects, that is what we do. Okay, and hence you have so many things in my graph. So your course journey is basically Linux, starting with Azure Cloud, Azure DevOps. In Azure DevOps, there are multiple things like artifact management, repo management, work item management, pipeline management, test management. Then you have Git, YAML scripting, Terraform, Kubernetes, Ansible, Docker, Maven, Vault, Key Vaults, and then we do have Slack. So I do use Slack for one of my project. Monitoring tool, you have Prometheus, Grafana, and these are the security tool what we have, such as SonarQube, Jacoco, Helm chart, Istio service mesh, and these are the live projects what we have: .NET application, Java, Maven application, database project. So this will be your course journey, guys. This is what we will be doing going forward in this course. Okay. I'll take you to the course curriculum, then I'll start taking questions. So whatever questions you have, you can walk me through. You can ask me those questions and I'll answer those for you. Give me 1 minute. Where it is. Okay, these are the projects. We use Azure DevOps, and this was the last batch which we concluded, Azure DevSecOps 11. So this one is the 12th batch. It's the course curriculum. Give me 1 minute. And all the documents and all the PPTs, whatever you see on my screen, everything will be shared. Whatever PPTs I'll refer, whatever code I write, whatever YAML scripts I write, and whatever I do on my screen, everything will be shared with you. So don't worry. Okay, this is the course curriculum, guys. Advanced DevSecOps course, starting with introduction. This is where we do theory more. Okay, and then it's pretty big page, guys. So Azure DevOps, work item management, repository management, and about Git security. We're talking about Talisman, Azure repos. Then this is what is service connection, what are agent pools, how do we set up agent pools. In cloud service, we talk about Azure Active Directory. I'll tell you what the reason why we are covering Azure Active Directory. App services, Key Vault, Kubernetes services, container registry. Then we have configuration management, Ansible. Then we have Ansible Vault, YAML scripting. This is where we cover basic of YAML. Okay. And this is where we start with project build pipeline, .NET application project, Java Spring Boot application, SQL database automation. These are the three projects. Again, we have all the pipeline security. How do we set up code coverage? How do we work with SonarQube? How do we work with Azure artifacts? How do we consume Azure artifacts? And how to work with Maven? We do have release pipeline topic over here. Then how do we create multi-stage deployments? All those. Okay. So go through this, and if there's any question, do let me know. Docker, we have Kubernetes at the end, Helm chart. Then we have service mesh, we have monitoring tool like Kiali, Metric Server, Prometheus, Grafana. This is something we set up from scratch, and we'll see how exactly we do microservice monitoring. These are the real-time projects what we have in this course, which we will do throughout this sessions. Okay, so this was the course details, guys. This is what we're gonna do in this last 60, 70 days. That is what we'll do, and this is how the projects will be created. Do we need to have any prerequisite? The prerequisite, I'll give you prerequisite, like you need to have a Azure DevOps account, which is free. You'll not, you get around 1800 minutes free from Azure DevOps. So which is more than sufficient to work with Azure DevOps. And we'll need Azure Cloud account. Azure Cloud account, we will be creating multiple resources on Azure Cloud. Don't worry about the charges, because whatever resource we create, it will fall under free tier firstly. And even though if it's not falling under free tier, you will get charged very less. Like for this complete course, hardly you will be paying 100 rupees, not in, okay? That is the max you will be paying for Azure Cloud Services. These are the two things. Other requirements such as Git, Visual Studio, a VS Code, all this throughout the session I'll guide you how to download, how to set up, and those things I'll be guiding you. So there's nothing as such prerequisite. Okay. One questions I believe, if is it required to be from a coding background to be part of this course? No, there's no requirement as such. As I said, whatever coding we'll do, I'll cover the basic of that coding from scratch first. Then we jump on and start writing pipelines. Okay, so that is something we'll cover. Now the coding, I'm just talking about the coding pipelines, what we create, the YAML scripts, what we create. That is the only coding you require. I'll show you. Give me 1 minute. No, not to see. So all this YAML files, what we are writing over here, so this I'll cover from scratch. Don't worry. How exactly this pipeline is created, how this YAML is written, and everything will cover from scratch. Okay, so I think that's it for me. If anyone has any questions, doubt, anything, guys, you feel free to unmute yourself and ask me those questions. Anyone, any questions, any doubt about this course or about anything?
Hey, hi Rohit. I'm audible?
Yeah, perfect. Tell me.
Yeah, in DevSecOps, I just saw you are covering SonarQube and Jaco. I think Jaco are related to JavaScript, but I'm belongs to the Python environment. So, in any other DevSecOps tools you are planning, or these are the two
There are many,
DevSecOps?
many. So starting with Git, okay, when you start committing your changes, we have pre-hooks, post-hooks. We cover
Okay,
pre-commit hook, which is Talisman. Then when we come to build pipeline, you have your unit test integration, you have your code coverage integration, you have your security analysis, you have your vulnerability scanning. So we have all various tools over there which we will be integrating with your CI/CD pipeline itself. Okay. Then
okay,
when you go to the containerization, when you go to containerization, how to scan your image, like the Docker images, what you're creating. So we do have a security tool wherein we are scanning the image for any sort of vulnerability. So that then once the scanning is done, then it goes to your container registry. So just for namesake, I've given you the Sonark and everything. But when you go with the
okay,
course
okay, got it, got
curriculum,
it.
you will understand the complete. So in each phase of your SDLC, we have some or other security tool what we integrate to safeguard. We are scanning Terraform config file also. So we do have a way to scan the Terraform config files. Okay, so there are
Okay,
many things we are doing in this.
okay, thank you.
No problem.
Does this curriculum cover Python scripting?
No, we don't cover Python scripting in Inca. As I said, this is more a DevSecOps course. Okay. Once you're thorough with DevSecOps, if you are very familiar with DevSecOps course, the next stage of yours should be Python scripting. Okay, that should be your next stage. Going like once you have 4 5 years of experience into DevOps, then I'll not even suggest Python scripting. Frankly speaking, guys, I'm into DevOps from last 12 13 years. I use PowerShell scripting and shell scripting 90% of the time. Python here and there I use because Python needs a setup. You need to have Python environment setup. Then it's very easy for me to say write a shell script and PowerShell script and run it on Windows. For example, I'll give you an example. Today I've done it. There was a requirement of setting up certificates on around 35 servers. Okay, that is Windows servers. So straight away, PowerShell script, written a PowerShell script and installed on all those 35 servers using my build pipeline, using my CI/CD pipeline. Imagine I'm writing Python script, setting up Python environments and running Python on those Windows server. I'm not denying that we cannot do it with Python. We can do it, but which is the easier one? You have to choose yourself. There are so many tools available in the market. What is easier for you? Is it for Windows server? What is it? PowerShell scripting. Done. If it's a Linux, I would have used over there. I could have used Python because it's very easy for me to set up Python on Linux. But why will I take that headache of setting up Python? Shell scripting. Done. So you need to choose what you are working on, what kind of project you are, because I was a Python developer earlier. Now I'm into DevOps. I don't use Python at all. From last 5 6 years, I'm not using Python. The last Python script I've written around 2 months back just to read PDF. There were around 100 PDF which I need to read and I need to get the release dates from those. That is where I have written Python script. So you need to select the right tool at right place, then only you will be able to succeed. Because if you just stick with Python or you just stick with PowerShell or you just stick with shell scripting, it will not work. What environment you're targeting, what you're trying to achieve, it's very easy. PowerShell scripting with your pipeline, very easy. There is a PowerShell task. Just write your PowerShell script, create the connection to the server, put the script, run it, done. So when we talk about automation, this is how the automation happens. So yeah, just to answer, we are not covering Python in this because that is not relevant. I will teach Python and it will not make sense to you that's a waste of time for you and me both.
Okay. Hi, Rohit.
Yeah,
Uh,
Hitesh.
so I'm in database background. Actually a database administrator, and I have around 15 years of experience. The reason I want to join this course because I want to go into the architect position and
Hmm.
or be a solution architect. I don't want to be stuck in the database background. So
Perfect.
how it will help us? How it will help me? I mean, this
Okay,
DevOps course.
Hitesh, very good. So in this course, we do have a SQL database automation in which we are working with DAC packs. We are getting the DAC packs created for the project. We are creating the build pipelines. We are releasing it to a SQL server. Now,
Mhm.
so the reason I'm telling you this is you need to showcase yourself that along with you, you don't need to showcase yourself that I'm a DBA or I'm a database admin or anything as such now. Because when you
Mhm.
want to jump to solution architect, you need to portray yourself that I was a senior DevOps engineer for last 5 years. That is what your target should be. Now, in order to showcase that, because a solution architect is a person who knows, who needs to provide solution, end-to-end solution. Like if I come to you, Hitesh, that I have this application, okay, which will be based on .NET. Give me a solution how the application will be deployed on cloud, how this end-to-end flow will work, what are the different modules you will put in, what are the different tools will. So that is the solution you need to provide. So, in
Mhm.
order to have that kind of experience and in order to give that kind of output to others, you need to know the complete SDLC flow. First thing,
Okay.
that is what
Mhm.
DevOps will give you. DevOps, we say DevOps and operation engineer working. DevOps is a backbone of SDLC. So when we work as a DevOps, we are part of the building phase, and we are part of the deployment phase, and we are part of the operational phase wherein we do the monitoring, we do check exceptions, and based on exception we do provide support. So it's complete flow. That is what it. So DevOps engineer role is not only creating build and release pipeline. That is the bread and butter for sure. You will be responsible for creating the build and release. You will be responsible for automating. But the other side of the world is you will be responsible to debug. You will be responsible to support if anything fails in that flow. That is what your responsibility is. As I said, I was part of today. I just gave you an example, certificate installation. Is it my task? No. The system admin team reached out to me that we need to have this certificate installed on all the load servers. There are 40, 35 to 40 load servers. They were asking, how do we automate? That
Okay.
that is kind of responsibility. So I just written a PowerShell script for them.
Okay. And I mean, usually I hear the terms Kubernetes, Terraform,
Mhm.
Ansible. Okay, I'm a little bit familiar about Ansible, but not much. So, are we going to cover all these
Yes,
tools in this
yes, yes.
course?
These are the prime tools. So whatever prime tools in DevOps, like when you go into DevOps, these are Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible. These are the prime tools. So yes, 100% we are covering these tools because today in the world of microservice, you need to know how this microservice application. That's the reason I do have a microservice project in this Java Maven Spring Boot project, wherein we are deploying the project. So that project is basically I'll be deploying that project multiple times just to give you an understanding how this microservice world works. Okay, so I'll get that project deployed onto Azure App Service first. Then second, I'll get that project deployed onto a Docker container. The same project, when we learn Kubernetes, the same project I will deploy to a Kubernetes pods, and then I will have a two-tier application deployed onto the Kubernetes pod. Then on top of it, we'll be setting up a monitoring tool to understand how the network is flowing. How do we set up TLS? So again, a security tool, TLS. We are setting up TLS. So basically, we are encrypting end-to-end traffic flow, and we will
Mhm.
do that encryption using MTLS. Okay, and then using network monitoring tool we'll see the exact flow, like where exactly the flow is, how the network is flowing, how the traffic is getting encrypted, what is service mesh, like what exactly service mesh is istio service mesh is doing, how it is taking the traffic and passing it forward to the other port. So there are a lot of things. So that is the you will I we this flow which I just said will be doing at the end of the course when we learn Kubernetes. Because if I start this at the beginning, half of you guys will just leave the course and you will run.
And the last question is like, how you gonna? I mean, are we going to use AI in this course?
AI, it's a good question. See, if you AI is more, we do have AI into DevOps. There are multiple MCP servers in place. I do use AI. I use I do have Azure DevOps MCP. I have GitOps MCP. There are many things I have set up on my local. I'm still figuring out where exactly we can use AI in DevOps. See, just teaching AI is again, my teaching style is very different. I teach practical things more, which you can start using into your day-to-day activity. That is what my target is. So I do have integrated AI in my projects, but it's not that evolved now. Into DevOps, we don't have that much, but I still have AI. I'm still working on AI course. If you see, I do have my AI thing is on the right hand side, wherein I'm working on this. Okay,
Mhm.
generative AI. We are working with MCP. My focus is how to work with generative AI, how to work with MCP. These are the different use case. So I'm thinking of AI from DevOps perspective. I don't want to waste your time of just teaching what is AI, what is generative AI, what is LLM. No, that's a waste of time, guys. You can learn it from YouTube. That's waste of time. My target is how do we work with meta prompts, how do we work with MCP servers, how do we work with agentic AI, because that is where you will be using into DevOps. But it's still in underdeveloped course right now, because I'm still thinking what are the better way to teach you all. Okay, I'm still working on this generative AI model. And frankly speaking, in DevOps world, you don't have that much of AI exposure right now. Okay, so it can get you Terraform scripts created, but see, in order to use AI, you should know how to. Let me give you an example of one example of Terraform. So you can write Terraform scripts using any AI tool, whether you're using Copilot, whether you're using Devin AI or whatever AI tools you're using, whether you're using Gemini or others. But the point is, if you don't know what AI is writing for you, how will you differentiate? Will you run that script into production? No. I'll give you one example. I was using Copilot, so and I wanted Copilot to add one condition in my already existing Terraform code. I already had an idea like how exactly this condition will be written in Terraform, but I wanted AI to suggest me like what are the different things we can do. It was a very simple flow. AI has unnecessarily complicated that flow, and I dropped all the ideas by AI and went ahead and written the code by myself. So I can use AI because I know how to work with Terraform. By reading the code, I know, okay, this is waste, this is garbage, drop it. But imagine if you're not aware of Terraform and you're just going to Copilot and create a Terraform script for creating VMs on Azure. AI will give you 100 line of code. Can you debug that code? Do you know what exactly AI is doing? Do you know what are the different conditions AI is using? If you want to straightforward answer, AI will give you today itself. But if you want to have some sort of condition, some sort of thought process behind the scene, will AI do that for you? No. So keeping those things in mind, I'm just preparing my AI course, AI DevOps. Basically, the course name is AI DevOps, which I'm working on right now. So this is I'm
No, so
keeping in
Rohit,
AI.
my question was different. Like, nowadays every company has a chatbot.
Correct.
We
Correct.
can ask many questions. Even as a DBA, I ask how to create a database or how to, run the DML or DDL. AI
Mm,
can give me a lot of things. That's not
correct.
the point. The point is like, as the agentic AI, I was just more interested. I know this is not related to this course, but just a
Uh-huh.
curiosity. I need your 2 minutes.
Tell me.
So, our company was focusing like how can we create a agentic AI, a kind of virtual DBA who can help, who can do a lot of things, and it can help us as our colleague. We can train it around. So, as you are a lead in your organization, have you faced or have you feel that kind of requirement in as a DevOps?
See, agentic AI is something if you have a simple task on a daily basis, if you have a simple task which you're doing in repetitive in nature, you can have a
Mhm.
agentic AI created. Like you can be behind the scene, agentic AI is using MCP servers. Okay, you can have MCP servers created, give it to your agentic AI, give it to Claudia and all, and then he can do that repetitive task for you. Okay, but for that you need to have the MCP servers created behind the scene. Okay, so there are many, like I don't know which sequels. Are you working on MS SQL or
Oracle,
Oracle?
Oracle and
So for
Postgres.
Oracle also, there are agentic AI capabilities available which can help you with self tuning. It can help you with self securing, self repairing. There are many things. So there are MCP servers. So it's still evolving. What I'm saying, AI is still evolving. There are lot of see, Azure DevOps also has a MCP server, but that is not that good right now. Okay, there are a lot of things which that MCP server is not doing right now. So point is what your daily task. So it's basically uses API. Okay, all this API, the tool API gets exposed. That is what the MCP server is using. For example, if you want to uh, a chatbot, if you want to book a flight from multiple sources, so in the chatbot behind the scene you have MCP server integrated. So basically MCP server goes to the multiple website, gets the codes and give you the code. That is what it does. Okay, so the person, this was a task by a call center guy. You're calling a call center, he's checking for you. Now agentic AI is doing that for you. So yeah, it's still evolving. I'm not sure in the database world what are the different tools they are using, but in DevOps world we do have multiple MCP servers available right now. The one which I have used, Terraform, I have used Azure DevOps MCP server. I have used GitHub Action for writing GitHub Action pipelines. I have used it. They are coming up to the speed, but this will what this MCP servers will do, they can help you with repetitive tasks, like something you're doing. Like suppose you're doing some sort of coding, and behind the
Mhm.
scene you want to have a PR created, pull request created, and that the check-in needs to be done automatically. You can give that task to agentic AI. That was
Yes.
once the commit is done, create a PR and merge the code to the XYZ branch. Agentic AI can do that behind the scene for you very easily.
So it
So
would be great if you could cover this. Just give us a demo in the last.
I'll definitely, because it's a pretty big course. By the time I will have my PPT and everything in place, I'll definitely give you.
Yeah.
Don't worry, because I'll be launching this course very soon. So I'll definitely start with you all itself. Don't worry, but I cannot promise. Depending upon my workload, see, in the morning I start at 8 and I go till 5 in the evening. It's very hectic schedule I am in right now.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right,
definitely
so I have a
I'll try my
question.
best. Yeah, India.
So for this course, are you gonna encourage us to use the, because I've never used Azure before, but I've used AWS. So that's one of the reasons why I'm joining, because I want to know how to use the Azure space. So would you like advise us to use Azure VMs during this process? Because I don't like to use my personal computer and my local
Yes,
computer
yes,
for
yes.
tasks like this.
I also don't like all the, so whatever major things we will be doing, we'll be doing on Azure VMs. So we'll be creating VMs like setting up Kubernetes and things. We'll be doing it on Azure VMs. And even I come from AWS background. Okay, I'm AWS professional certified, but from last 5 6 years I'm on Azure. So yes, we will be using Azure VMs. We can use EC2 instance also if you're familiar with AWS, and if you want to create EC2 instance, doesn't matter. We can use EC2 instance also. Yeah, but yeah, we'll focus on Azure Cloud more. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, Santosh.
Yeah, hi. Good morning and good evening, Rohit, and everyone. Um, as you said that this course will go up till Jan mid approximately. So when would be what would you suggest? When can we take now? Now that totally depends on everybody's practice and efforts. But going with the course and doing the basic homework that you will be giving us, when can we target for the AZ400 certificate?
Okay, AZ 400 if you want to target, then I'll suggest once the course is done. Okay, because I
Okay.
don't want you to get deviated, because for AZ 400 you need to do extra extra theory. You need to go through the extra theory links which I will share, because that is how the Microsoft exams are. Okay, you need to know the theory
Hmm.
part also. So I won't suggest in mid of this course, because again you will be deviated to two different places which I don't want. So once you're done with this course, immediately you can go with AZ 400. You will be fresh at that point of time. 2 weeks down the line, you can go through all those white papers, give practice exam, and then go with AZ 400. So that is how you can plan yourself.
And one more question, please, related to the current market that is there for DevOps engineers, or whether we call it as DevOps developer or we should call it as DevOps administrator or DevOps engineer. What would be the role that we can look after this course? And um, looking at the course that we will complete in by January,
Mhm.
for me now, as our friend Hitesh said that he is from Oracle, I am from MS SQL
Mhm.
as a DBA for last 10 years.
Mhm.
So with this, how many years of experience can we project on our resume? And what kind of, no, this is completely a vague question. It depends on the market, depends on company to company. But looking at this, what kind of appreciation or what kind of percentage wise projection, could you just give us some idea, like in the salary perspective or the package perspective, what kind of impact can it have, please?
So this is okay about experience. Again, what experience you need to put in your resume, it totally depends upon your confidence level about after the course. The confidence level you will gain only with the practice. That way, I'll suggest nothing less than, if you have 10 years of experience, I will suggest put somewhere around 4 to 5 years of experience in DevOps. Because if you talk about appreciation in salary, that will be only given if you have a good DevOps background. So I'm not telling that you don't need to showcase what you're doing right now. Along with it, you need to portray yourself that I was working as a DevOps guy also. That is the reason I have that SQL database automation project added to this course, so that you can relate something. And about the appreciation, see, anywhere, depending on what project you have, what company you're going, where you're going, what kind of title you're taking. Like if you have 10 years of experience, I'll not suggest anything less than senior DevOps guy, because that is where you will get the appreciation what you're looking for. If you go with a starter DevOps engineer or a SRE engineer, then it will not help you. You need to have at least minimum a senior DevOps engineer or a solution architect. That is when you will see an appreciation on your existing package. So whatever your existing package, I'm thinking anything about 30 to 40% of hike on the current existing package. That is how it should be.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Do you have like programs where we get to do like a mini internship with big companies and actually have real life experience handling tickets and things like that?
Uh, so you're talking about any such tie-up for internship?
Like an internship, or maybe like so we can actually undo real life tickets by ourselves.
Not getting your question. Can you come back again?
Do you have an avenue where we can have like internship with some companies to
Oh,
put
so okay.
into um practicing what we've learned here?
I'm not sure. You can ask these questions to Valaxy admin. They can probably guide you on this. So reach out to Valaxy admin team. They can guide you on this
All
if
right,
they
okay.
have something like this.
All right. In terms of DevSecOps, right?
Hmm.
Is there any certification that we can take regarding the security aspect that would showcase that we understand DevSecOps?
Yeah,
Because
there
I
is.
I have
Yeah.
Amazon certifications,
Hmm.
solutions architect and all that. But what can I put on my resume, or what certification can I do for security?
So there are many security certification in Microsoft, but point is those are security from a different perspective. The security topic what we are covering is from the DevOps perspective. Like in the complete SDLC cycle, there are various phases. Okay, so in those various phases, what are the different security measures you can put in place, which will make your build and release pipeline robust. Okay, So that is something we are talking. So the certification is AZ400 itself. But if you talk about security certification in Microsoft, I think AZ900, there are multiple security related certification which you can opt for. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into it.
Do you think if we have those certificates, do you think it will help us in a DevOps role, or it will not actually help us because, like you said, it may be towards a different direction or perspective?
No. See, if you ask me, will the certification help you to get into the role? So I will say no. Certification will not get you role. Experience will get you role, and what kind of uh, demo you're giving, that will get you role. But certification is the must, because nowadays all this AI tool is picking up your resume. Okay, so they are looking for keywords. So like if I'm looking for Azure DevOps role, I'll have, being a HR, I'll put like I need someone with AZ400 certified. I need someone with a build and release pipeline experience. I need someone with AKS experience. So those AIs are picking up those keys first thing. And once the resume gets picked, the first person who sees your resume is the HR, a non-technical person. And the non-technical person will look for all this certification, whether you have all this extravagant certificates added to your resume or not. Then the HR will pick your resume, then the technical round. So the technical round, like people like me, you and me will be taking the technical round. Now if you ask me frankly, I don't look into that certification tab. I look, when I see resume, I look what kind of experience, what kind of tools this guy has worked on, and straight away I start scenario based questions. I start with very easy questions, as I said, the cherry picking. And if you're struggling there, so there's no point of moving ahead. So that is how I gauge my, when I take interview. I have taken more than 200 interviews by now. So that is how I gauge. If I want to, if I am looking for a DevOps role, I want that person to be very thorough with Git, repository management, build and release pipeline management. How do we create connection? What is SDLC? How the flow works? And I'll not ask straightforward question. I'll ask easy questions, but in a scenario based. And if you're able to answer those scenario based questions, I will be very confident enough that you can, if in reality, if I ask you to do those, you can do it. Because if you know the cherry picking concept, you have all this AI tool, the chatbot. What is cherry picking? How do we run the cherry picking command? You get the command. But imagine you don't know the how cherry, what is cherry picking, and your AI bot Copilot is giving you git cherry pick command. What is the purpose of running that command? You do you know what that command will do? But if you know what cherry picking does, what stash does, what is PR, how do we rebase, what are non-linear non-linear merging, what is fast forward merging, if you know all this jargon, if you know this, you can go and get the commands from AI tool nowadays. But the point is you should know at least. If you don't know it, there's no point of running that command. What impact will have the command on your production environment, you can't even imagine. So that is how I take interview. But yeah, just to answer, certification is important because you'll have to get you have to reach the technical round. In order to reach that technical round, you need to have those jargon added to your, the keywords added to your resume. But experience is the most important. I certification very easily you can do. Yeah, you don't need this course for this. Easy 400, you can do it easily. But the point is, you'll not have that knowledge. Certification is very
Thank you.
easy. Any certification you can do. Which certification you want to do? Any certification you can do. But there's no point of doing certification unless and until you cannot have that kind of exposure. Now, I have done my initially. I've showed in my PPT. I have done RSCE, Red Hat Certified Engineer. For just that's the initial phase. For just doing that certification, I have learned 6 months. Linux in and out, everything I have learned. How to set up SFTP server, how to set up mail server, how to set up Apache web server, all this, everything, because that's a practical exam. There's no MCQs over there in Red Hat certification. If any one of you have given Red Hat certification, you know. There's no, it's complete practical. You need to go and set up everything. So you need to learn. By when you learn and when you give certification after that, You have a very good exposure. So after that, if anyone asks me any questions related to Linux, I know everything now. So that is how, if you are opting for certification, you need to have that knowledge first. Have that knowledge, have that practical knowledge, then go for certification. Just for namesake, don't give certification.
And Rohit, what is this term called cherry picking you were talking about? Is this some feature or a tool or
It's a feature of Git.
is oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, any questions, guys? Any further questions? Please reach out to Valaxy team. And if there's any question, any doubt, and still if you want any suggestions, okay, there's questions in the chat. I am not looking into the chat. Okay, this Valaxy and Galaxy, are they same or are they different? Okay, I thought it's Valaxy. They have done a typo, but yeah, there is something called Galaxy. Okay, Azure Data Engineering or Azure DevOps, which has more calls and which is easier to learn. Okay, nothing is easy. You have to, like, even in, so depends like what you're looking for. What's your portfolio? Like if you go into DevOps, it's more into your application. You will be dealing with SDLC, you will be dealing with applications, you'll be dealing with APIs, you'll be dealing with microservice. When you go into data engineering, those are mostly when if you're interested in AI ML, okay, machine learning, data factory, ADFS. If you're interested in those things, data factory and those things, data lake, that is where this data engineering comes in picture. Okay, so you need to answer yourself like what is your portfolio, where you want to go. There are two different streams, so don't get confused. There are two different streams. Okay, Azure DevOps and data engineering. DevOps and data engineering, they are two different streams, and they have their own advantages and disadvantages. So you need to ask yourself like where I want to go, whether I want to be a data engineer. If you're good with, so in data engineering, you need to be very good with Python, because you'll be working with Python packages. You will be writing Python scripts in data engineering a lot to work with data lake and things like that. Okay, so you need this. I cannot answer. If you ask me, I'll tell DevOps. Okay, because I'm into DevOps. Okay, but this is something you need to ask yourself like where I want to go. Okay, about the growth. See, I am into DevOps since very long now. Okay, when DevOps was just a buzzword, since then I'm into DevOps. Okay, at that time people were saying, why are you going to do? There's nothing into DevOps, and still it's 2025. DevOps is still growing, and I can guarantee next 5 years DevOps is not going anywhere. The safest job after the AI introduction is DevOps. DevOps engineer is not. DevOps is not about only working with tools. It's the brain what we use in the complete flow, guys. So don't take this profile lightly. Okay, it's a very important profile. If you have a very good experience into DevOps, you are the important person in the complete SDLC flow. Every developer, every person will ping you for any XYZ thing. That kind of importance you get. And in DevOps engineer, you will have multiple people working under you. Okay, you will have junior DevOps engineer working under you. So, so the way I do is I don't stick with one project. We take one project, we automate that project, we train the developers, and we move on to other project. That is how we work. Okay, so that is what the DevOps senior DevOps engineer role is all about. That is how you will go to the solution architect role. That is your journey, starting with junior DevOps, DevOps engineer, senior DevOps engineer. Then the next jump is solution architect. Then you will be again principal architect. That is the journey of this DevOps engineer role. Okay, and you get paid very good. I'm not sure, but in DevOps, if you
Sorry,
have a
can you
good
say the journey
experience,
again? Can you say the
sorry,
journey again?
yeah,
The
see,
journey, okay.
when you're starting with DevOps, you will be a junior DevOps engineer. You will be shadowing some senior DevOps guy. Okay, then then you will be something a DevOps engineer, wherein you will have around 3-4 years of experience. You are good with DevOps. Then you transition yourself to a senior DevOps engineer. The senior DevOps engineer is the go-to guy for everything. So you will not be responsible for building pipeline, doing things from scratch. You will be guiding others. Your DevOps engineer, this is how this will be done. This is how you need to do. Then you will go to solution architect. Solution architect is the guy who does end-to-end everything. Then from the solution architect, you will evolve to principal architect. Principal architect is somewhere like a VP in any company, guys. Okay. Principal architect will have multiple solution architect under him. Solution architect will have multiple DevOps guy under him. Solution architect basically will have the complete app dev team. Okay. So a DevOps engineer is part of development team. So any development team gets formed, you will have one DevOps engineer in that team. Okay. So the focus area for developers are they are focusing on how do we develop the application. The DevOps engineers are focusing on how do we automate this application. End-to-end automation. That is what the focus area of a DevOps engineer is. Okay, guys. So Galaxy has a I am 2017 passed out mechanical and I'm totally on the sales side. I don't have any IT experience and I'm eligible for this training. See, Galaxy, you are eligible for this training, but you need to, as compared to others, you need to put in more efforts because you're not from the IT background and there will be things very new for you. Okay, I have trained many mechanical engineers. If like in my previous batch, there were 3 people from non-IT background. Okay, so but the only thing is, as compared to others, you need to practice more. If someone is practicing twice, you have to do at least 3 to 4 times to understand the flow because you need to put in that kind of experience in your resume. Because I will not suggest anyone to go as a fresher into DevOps, guys. Okay, if you're taking this training, please put at least minimum 3 years of experience. If you don't have 3 years of experience, if you're fresher, put at least 1 2 of working experience in your resume and then go for an interview because fresher they will not even entertain, so it's a waste of time. Okay, so it's better to put some sort of experience what you can put the projects what we will do in this course that you will put in your resume and you need to talk about those projects in your interview. Okay, so yes, Galaxy, you can definitely opt for this course, but be ready to prepare yourself and be ready to practice more. Okay, when is the course will start in EST time zone? EST is
It will
9:30,
start
CST
from
is
Monday.
but
So it will start from Monday, right?
if you're in US in EST or CST time zone, it is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you're in
Yeah.
India, it is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
So coming Monday is 27th. So are we going to
20,
start from 27th?
yes. 27th in US, 28th in India.
Yep, I got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in EST time zone, so that's why I'm asking in EST.
yeah. The others will get confused. That's why.
Yeah, okay.
They will
Okay.
think it is on 27th. They will join on 27th.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm also in the Eastern time zone.
Mhm.
The other person in the Eastern time, what part of Eastern do you stay?
Well, I'm in Canada.
Oh, okay, I'm in the US. All right, no problem. We would probably collaborate better during the course of
Yep.
the program. Thank you.
Yep.
Perfect, guys. Okay, guys. So that's it for me. If there's any question, we can discuss that later. So let's wind up for today and let's come back on Monday e- uh, for US folks and Tuesday for India folks. And let's start with the first session on Azure DevOps. Okay. Any
Thank you,
last minute
Valaxy.
questions, guys? Anyone? Okay. Then thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye.